So after Ned's completed, go ahead, Josh.
Speaking of Yordano, prior to the cramp, what was working so well for him today?
Oh, everything. Was executing his fastball extremely well. Good curveball, good changeup. He's a kid that has tremendous composure. This type of situation doesn't faze him at all, and was really throwing the ball well.
What was going through your mind when he did go down with that cramp?
I figured he had a hand cramp. When he went down, it wasn't elbow. He wasn't, he was shaking his hand, and it's happened to him before. He had it once or twice last year, and his hand just cramps up, and it just takes a minute to get it uncramped. But at that point, he was done.
Sure. What impressed you about Moose's debut in the 2-spot?
The opposite field home run obviously was great. He plays a game when he gets up there. He's looking for situations. He's looking how to, hit to the situation, and he's doing a great job, as he has all spring, looking to try to beat the shift, to try to find ways to hit the ball the other way, and he's becoming very proficient at it. Yeah. No reason. No reason to think. It was a hand cramp. Yeah. I mean, I've had it before. I've had it, where my hand cramps up, and I mean, it just literally you got to just kind of pull your thumb out, and it feels better. But it was a pretty extensive cramp. But yeah, we were all kind of laughing about it afterwards. So.
Overall, I mean, could you have asked for a better day?
No, I don't think so, Andy. I think, to come out and for Alex Rios and Kendrys Morales to make their debut in front of our home crowd, both had phenomenal days. Kendrys with 3 walks and a hit, and Rios with a home run and 3 hits. I think was, special days for them. And, Eske played great. Moose played great. There was just so many storylines in that game for our players coming back, getting their rings, and then, putting on a great performance in front of a sold-out crowd.
Can you elaborate a little bit on putting Moose in the 2-spot and what you think that does for you and what you think it does for him?
Well, again, he's a kid that was swinging the bat extremely well in spring training. And he's a guy right now that we think that likes to get involved offensively in the game. He like the situation where he bunted runner on second. That was him. We didn't put the bunt sign on. He got up there and thought, okay, I'm gonna play this game right now. I'm gonna get that runner over and trust that my teammate's gonna get him in, and it did. He's just a real team player, and I think that when we did this with Alex Gordon 4 or 5 years ago, it really gave him a boost of confidence. He was a kid that had been sent to AAA the year before, came to spring training, and I put him in a 3-spot, and he took off. Ended up hitting 300 and 45 doubles, and you look at Moose at this point in his career, and we just think that, like we do with Ventura, like we did with Duffy, putting them in the 1 and the 2 spot, having Moose in the 2 spot right now just shows how much confidence we have in his ability, which in turn gives him confidence to play his game. So.
What was your feeling when Lorenzo got hit on the next pitch? Did you feel like there was something intentional there?
Well, I mean, obviously, I don't know intent. I'm not in his mind. I don't know. It didn't look very good at that time, obviously. But, I was just proud to see Moose hit that ball. I mean, Moose hit the ball, and Kaufman, Oppo is it's a big feat.
Were you happy to see how the team reacted to Lorenzo getting hit?
Yeah, I mean, our guys are a group of guys that back each other. They really do, and they care for each other. And the warnings went out, right away, and it's like, okay, boys, let's calm down here a little bit. And it's a long year.
With Moose, you talked about the idea of him, the way he bunted today. That wasn't necessarily his game at this time last year.
No, absolutely not.
What do you think clicked or changed with him to get him to embrace that?
Well, what I think clicked, honestly, I think the playoffs last year was a huge influence on him. Because as soon as we started the playoffs last year, he had fought his average, he had fought his home runs, he had fought his RBIs, and just felt all year long that he was underperforming and underachieving to his standards. And once the playoffs start, he forgot all about it. And his only intent was do whatever it takes, each at bat, to help your team be successful. And he saw how much success he could have doing it. I mean, broke the record for home runs for the franchise and just had a phenomenal postseason. And it was a mindset that said, you know what, I'm not fighting myself anymore. I'm just going to go play the game. I'm going to play the game to win for my teammates. I don't care what the stats say. I don't care what happens. I'm just going to take every situation and try to achieve it. And I think that was a great experience for him. So, you know, we talked about it early in spring training with the experience that these guys gained last year. It's going to be real interesting to see if they take it into the regular season. And all spring and even to this point, it's only one game, but they've done a great job with that.
A couple more for Ned.
Reels was the guy who was locked in all spring, so this can't be a big surprise what he did.
No.
How happy are you to see that?
Well, I mean, again, it's one game, but like you said, he's done this all spring long. And again, you know, when you read all the national people say, you know, it's you know, Kendrys Morales and Rios are downgrades after what we had last year. Well, yeah, if you're going solely on the years that they had last year. Alex was hurt. You know, Kendrys had his situation. And, you know, both of these guys are professional players that we feel real strongly in their ability to bounce back and put together tremendous years. So it's good to see them get off to a good start.
Speaking of Morales, Ned, with the 3 walks, just the advantage and the weapon of having him as a switch hitter, those plate appearances he had today, and
Yeah.
you put him on the other side.
Yeah, and that's what we like, having him sandwiched between Moose and Gordy. You know, they can bring in a lefty. Haas and Gordy, they can bring in a lefty to face Haas, but you got that switch hitter there that, you know, can turn around and have that your right-left still going on. So we think that, you know, him in the 5 spot's going to be a real productive spot for us. I mean, I don't know how many times he scored today. 3 times on.
Scored twice.
Yeah, twice.
On 3.
So, I mean, that's on base, man. Yeah, well, you could see him really last year really take a big step forward in his, and I don't really want to say maturity, but in it's just his overall, you know, play during the game. He's much more focused. He's much more aware. He's much more in tune. There were times early where, you know, he'd be kind of, you know, zoning out every once in a while. He doesn't do that anymore. And we've always known that he's a tremendously gifted athlete on the field, both offensively and defensively. And as soon as he would learn to harness that focus every single day, that he would be a premier player, and that's exactly what he's done, and that's, I think, what he's become.
Yordano and Jeremy Guthrie are here, so we'll excuse Ned and let them.